The agency at that time was the Regional Planning Council. We had a wonderful board, and it was just very exciting to be part of it. That ultimately morphed into what we are now as a nonprofit.
The early days were quite different in some ways, administratively, decision-making wise. We didn't have a lot of staff.
We had a small space with cubicles with fuzzy walls and a staff of maybe 10 or 12. I think the biggest difference that people would see now is the very limited number of programs that we had. We had Older Americans Act funding, and we had Community Care for the Elderly funding. There was no helpline. There was no Medicaid. There was compared to now, it was very limited kinds of programs that were available, through funding through us in the community, and mostly community-based kinds of things. So it was very, very different as an agency through that.
And so our job for many years was to get through those reviews without getting knocked for anything, and we developed a long record of not having any issues, and I think we were the only agency in Florida that carried that record. That is carried forward until today, and I think that's why we're the outstanding area agency in Florida.
I can remember people calling the helpline and saying, I just got out of the hospital and I need food. I'm not going to need it for a long period of time, but post-hospitalization, I need help with meals for a few weeks. And we didn't have the capability to be flexible enough to do that. And so seeing and having some flexibility to address things like deposits or provide incontinence supplies for people who can't afford them, or short-term meals, or that kind of thing, to me, could make a huge difference in somebody's life without having to enroll them in a program that was seen as going on long-term. Their needs weren't necessarily long-term, but it was enough to prevent a crisis. So it was very important to me.
The staff that do the intake, we really couldn't do what we do without our incredible team of staff. And they do it with commitment, with dedication, because they believe in the mission of this organization to be the trusted resource, to advocate, to educate, and empower seniors to lead their best lives.
Well, I see a lot of continuity between the staff of 50 years ago, whom I knew, a lot of them, the staff of today, I still know a lot of them, and I believe the staff 50 years from now.
And I hope that people that are here now that are new realize that you can have a heart for seniors, but have a compassion to work as a team with all of the other people in the organization, and you'll do fine.
Have loved this agency and everything that we stand for and what we hope to stand for since they let me hang around here 32 years ago.
I would like to say that I am so proud of this agency. I am so disappointed that I won't be able to be there to celebrate. But I can say that I felt like my years at the Agency on Aging were a blessing to me, and that I worked for the best area agency on aging in the state of Florida.